Hello, everyone. Welcome to Word on the Street. I'm Jennifer Carpus-Romaine with TMSA, filling in for Trey Griggs as he deals with an internet issue. Hit the video. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Word on the Street. We are going just bananas over here, bringing in the street crew. So first up is going to be Rob Busey. Did you say it Bussey or Busey? We're going to find out.
Hey there. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask there. It's Bussy.
Bussy. That's what I thought. And then as I was like, you know what? I should have checked all of the pronunciations before.
You're fine. You're fine.
How are you doing today?
I do have my pronunciation on my LinkedIn account. You can do
that's
that.
Good. I should go check that out after. Let's talk about your very magical background you have going on.
Well, I was singing the Frozen theme earlier, and I thought, I better get some background lighting. Actually, I just wanted to be a goofball and try something back there.
I feel ya. I made sure I turned on my Christmas trees before I got started. So.
My son is telling me he hasn't felt the Christmas spirit yet because it hadn't snowed yet, and of course today it snowed here in Chicago. Not too much, but enough to maybe give us the winter spirit. We're going to watch Elf this weekend, so we're getting there. That's
a good one. We just introduced. I have an almost 6-year-old, and we introduced Elf to him last weekend, and it was a big hit. For sure.
Well, my son is 9, so he's into I'm taking him back to my era. I'm watching Alien and Predator and those movies. So
okay, so the next person I'm going to bring in is Trey Griggs. He's back in the house. Let's see if he gets intro music.
No, we don't even worry about that. What's up, Jennifer? Just jumping in to run the show. I absolutely love it. What a
She's
cool
the
thing.
Best.
How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Oh man, this is weird. Yeah, so we're like 2 minutes from go live time, and my internet just shuts down, totally on the fritz. I mean, there was just nothing. So sorry, everybody. But of course, Jennifer Carpus-Romaine just jumps in. So, it's all it takes. It's awesome. It is all good. How's everybody doing today? Everyone good?
We're good. We're just chatting about Christmas and what era of Christmas movies you prefer to show your kids.
Oh, that's a good question. We show them quite a few. I think the only ones we don't show them are Christmas Vacation. We're not quite to that one yet. But most of the rest of the classics, we can go all the way back to White Christmas. That's one of their favorites. We love that one. And we've gotten into the Christmas Chronicles. We're watching the Santa Claus series now that's out on Disney Plus. So that's been kind of fun. Elf, of course, is a classic, although it's over 20 years old. Hard to believe, over 20 years old. Pretty wild. So, yeah, good question. That's fun. All right. Hey, we've got some people that we need to bring in, so we might as well get them in here and have a little fun with it. I have been missing this person for quite a long time. She's been busy, growing a business, out there doing some fun stuff, and she's on the road again today. I can tell. Everybody give it up for our good friend, Raquel Packets. Raquel, what's up?
Happy Friday.
Are you?
Hey.
Well, it's lovely to see all your amazing faces.
It is lovely.
What's up, Raquel?
I know. Got to get you.
Where's John?
There's John.
What's up, John?
Of course. Okay, so we need an update. What are you guys doing? What is going on?
That's not a camper. That's a regular truck.
We are on the way back home right now. I just happened to jump in. I wanted to join at the beginning of the show this time.
Nice. Awesome. Well, it's good to see. Well, we miss you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And look forward to seeing you on more shows here in the future, hopefully, as things continue. So it's going to be awesome. But we're going to have a good time today. So stick around. We got our special guest today that we're going to bring in here. And I've known this guy for a little while, mainly on social media. Got to meet him at a couple of trade shows that we have, which has been fun. But we have not had a chance to have him on the show yet. And so, of course, I figured we had to have that happen. So my good friend from Reliance Partners doing some great things in the trucking industry, the insurance industry. Everybody get up for my good friend, Graham Gonzales.
Hey, Al, thanks for having me. Morning.
There's your 11-second intro right there. There it is.
It's fantastic. Garden Parkway.
This is a great song. That is a great song. I'd never heard that song before until you recommended it. So
oh man, Maggie Rogers is so good. Yeah. Thanks for having me on today.
That's awesome, man. Good to see you, brother. How's everything going?
Things are good. It's one of those weeks where I was also in Chicago the first couple of days of the week, and it has just been so crazy. Kids' school party today for Christmas. Haven't really even gotten too deep into work for Friday yet, so it's going to be a day, but I'm really glad to be here.
I know, and you're in Nashville, so I mean, it's like the day's pretty much almost more than half over. So
we're getting there.
Yeah, it's already made kind of its way there. Well, it's good to have you on the show, my friend. Always glad to have you. You've been such a supporter on LinkedIn and on social media, and everybody loves Graham Gonzales. I haven't met one person who has anything bad to say about Graham Gonzales, and so super excited again to have you on the show and have your time. Take a moment real quick and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and about Reliance Partners. What you guys are doing over there?
Sure. My name is Graham Gonzales. I am one of the VPs over at Reliance. We're an insurance brokerage serving the logistics space. So we have a lot of love for, single unit owner operators and then enterprise freight brokers, basically any piece of the supply chain we want to talk to. And so that's basically my role, is just collaborating with freight brokers on their insurance solutions, and then growing our freight broker team so that we can serve more of the industry as well.
Nice. I love that, man. It's awesome to hear the story of what you guys are doing there. What got you into transportation and freight in general? Tell us your story a little bit about how you got in here.
Yeah. I was working at a company called WeWork, which is an office space company at the start of the pandemic. And as you know, it was not a great time to be in office space when the world started to shut down. Living in Los Angeles with my wife and daughter, to
say the least.
It was a tough time for retention, I'll tell you that much. So my wife and I decided we're going to move back to Nashville. Got in touch with a recruiter buddy who's actually from Chattanooga, where Reliance Partners is HQ'd. And just got in touch with the leadership over there. And I honestly, I like to tell the story that I had an offer for a job I was really pumped about. Then I met Chad Eichelberger, our president, had 2 interviews with him. And I told my wife, I don't know what this opportunity is going to look like in the long run, but I really want to learn from this guy and take him on as a mentor. I think I'd really flourish in this role. So I jumped into transportation. I jumped into insurance, was a newbie, made some mistakes along the way, but here we are. It's been a wonderful time, really nosediving into the industry and meeting so many really cool and innovative companies.
So I got to back up for a second. So you this is your first take in the transportation industry, and you took a job just because you really like the leader. I got to tell you that speaks like sweet music to my soul, because I think that it's more important to work for somebody that you absolutely respect, that you can learn from, is going to help you grow, than to have your ideal job. And you are living that out. How has that worked out for you?
It was really interesting. I started the job. I was going to do a sales and operations kind of hybrid role, and I really was interested in the sales side. So I did clean up some things operationally at the company that I was excited and happy to do, and then got to really sink my teeth into the sales side of collaborating with freight brokers, finding out what the heck insurance is, and then learning about policies and stacking these things together basically. But being new in the industry, you can imagine it was a really interesting time to be in transportation. The past 2 years has been kind of a remarkable time. A lot of companies, I heard somebody say recently, you couldn't fall down without making money over the past couple of years. And so now that we're heading into maybe a tougher market, it's been really fun flying high and having a really amazing trajectory. And then now we'll be walking through maybe some tougher conversations as the economy slows down with clients. But it's been a remarkable time to jump into the industry.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, making money was just such an easy thing for the past couple of years, and it's definitely changing right now. But I got to go back and ask us, what was it about Chad that you met him and you went, yeah, this is a guy I want to, hitch my wagon to?
Yeah. One of the biggest things is that Chad sold me on the diversity of the company. We speak over 25 languages, so that our teams are calling truckers in all kinds of languages, or represent 25 countries, I should say, in dozens of languages. And so that piece really captured me, because that's what he led with on the call. And I didn't know anything about insurance, knew little about transportation, had a couple of transportation clients in my previous role, but leading with diversity was really big for me. And I'm happy to serve on a diversity committee as well at Reliance. And so leading with that, and then just the way he talked about the industry was something that really caught my attention, in that it's a huge industry. It's built on relationships. Your relationships are going to win business every time over any of the other basic sales things that you would take into consideration. And that was something that spoke to me, is I consider myself a relationship builder, or at least try to be. And if I can build a career doing exactly that, in a more strategic and consultative way, I thought that would be really fulfilling for me.
Yeah, that's cool. And I would love to hear kind of the Street Crew's take on this, like the significance of working for a great leader as opposed to having an ideal job. I can't speak enough to like how important that is. Raquel, I want to get your take on this because you're in your office now. You're here. You're with us now. I know.
I am. I was just trying to sign in on the other so that I don't have my mic.
You're here. No, Raquel, you worked for the companies before. Now you're running your own company. But talk about the value of like great leadership when it comes to like for employees to be really happy and for them to experience satisfaction.
Yeah, I think that there's really a big difference between whenever you have a small office feel versus a large corporate feel. It's all about that connection and that community that you can create. I always tell my team day in and day out how grateful I am for what they're doing, and really take time to give them that feedback, because that's the best way for them to learn and grow. And I feel like as I was in a larger corporation, that kind of slipped away. There's more bottom line numbers and things that you're looking at rather than focusing on the people. And so that's my main focus here as a small business, is focusing on the people that are doing the job and those that are helping us, making sure that they know that they're valued and appreciated as well.
Yeah, I love that. That's it's so valuable to to have that attitude towards leadership and understand that if you're an employee looking for an opportunity, that's important. If you're a leader, it's important to be that leader for somebody else, which is really, really critical. So I think it's awesome. All right, we got to pause for a second, everybody, because normally when we start the show, Jennifer, I don't know if you did this or not, but when we start the show, there's a little background noise. There we go. We got rid of that. When we started the show, I usually have to give a little love to our sponsors. I didn't get a chance to do that today.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No. I'm gonna take the moment just to pay some of the bills, everybody. So I got to give some shout out, some love to our friends over at greenscreens.ai. They are changing the game when it comes to dynamic pricing for freight brokers. If you are a freight broker and you are pricing freight, especially truckload freight, you got to reach out to Kevin and Dawn and the team over there and get started. Visit greenscreens.ai and get started today. Make sure you let them know that Trey sent you, so I get credit. I got to get credit for this, folks. I got the apparel. Buy Green Screens today, everybody. So that's kind of what we're rolling with, is the Green Screens apparel. So a lot of love to our friends over at greenscreens.ai. Graham, you know a few of the people over at Green Screens, don't you?
I've met a couple of their teammates. I met Don recently at the Future. Was it Future Freight? No, the F3. I get all the conference names mixed up, but I was there.
Well, one conference that's coming up in June we can't wait for is the TMSA. It's no longer, it's
not yet, Trey.
It's the annual conference. Annual conference.
There'll be big things coming up.
It's the annual
Trey
conference.
Knows too much.
Coming up. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on, which will be great. Okay, so I have to ask a question real quick to the freight crew. Is Raquel coming back in? Raquel, you want back in? Let's bring you back in. You want to be back in? There you are. Now we got her back in, which is awesome. Switched over to the computer. I like it.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Okay, so I got to pause for a minute. Have you guys ever played the game Telestrations? Okay, everybody, listen, I'm going to give you some Christmas gold, okay? So you got to buy the game Telestrations. I just got to show this to you real quick. I'm going to play a little background music while I show you guys this real quick. So this is a recent Telestration that we had. The game is simply this. You're given a pad, and you have to get a word, and you have to draw that word and then pass it to the next person who has to try to guess the word. The next person has to draw it, and it's just almost like a telephone with drawing with artwork. All right, so I want to show you one that we had recently that we had just the other night. So my word was ox. All right. This is what somebody else drew, was an ox. Someone chose lion chewing bubble gum.
I get that.
And here's a picture of a lion chewing bubble gum, which turned into a lion. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Then we have this. These are adults, by the way. These are not kids. These are adults. Now we have skull. And then this, kind of, I guess. And then we have egghead. Yeah, there you go, Jennifer. And then egghead turned into two words, egg and head, which of course didn't really make a lot of sense. We end up with tooth fairy. and then the next one is a tooth fairy, and the last one ended up being tooth fairy. So I ended up going from ox to tooth fairy, and it's one of those things where if you're there and you're with people, it's really fun. You can play with kids, you can play with adults. So there's my fun little Christmas gift for everybody, is make sure you pick up Telestrations from Amazon. It's going to be well worth it with any Christmas parties that you have. Graham, you got any favorite Christmas games or holiday games that you like to do?
My wife's family plays a lot of board games. It's not a holiday theme game, but there's a game called Aggravation. It's an old school board game, and you get so frustrated with whoever you're playing with, and we all get very competitive. So Aggravation is probably like where we lean. Yeah, I don't know
play that game.
Have
That's
you?
interesting.
You
No,
don't
I
know.
haven't.
It's
I
Hammer
have a
Game.
Christmas game
There we
All right,
go.
what is
that we play. So my sister brought it, her boyfriend's family plays it. So she brought it into our family, and it's the Christmas pot holder game. And what you do is you it's ridiculous. So everyone brings a gift, and it has to be a gift that like isn't breakable because you beat the crap out of it by the end of this game. And you wrap it a bunch of times. And then there's like you put pot holders on and you try to open the gift with the pot holders.
Oh, that's
And
really
then
fun.
there's like a buzzer, or you roll, like the person next to you is like rolling a dice, and like if you hit 6, then it passes on, and then that person tries to open it with the pot holder, and whoever successfully gets it. But it's ridiculous because you look crazy because you're trying to open it with pot holders on your hand. And this year I wrapped it in a plastic bag before I wrapped it. So everyone's gonna get to the bottom, and then they're gonna think that they have it open, and then they have to get through a plastic bag, which I'm really excited to watch.
And hopefully, no one at the party is going to watch this episode because then they'll know ahead of time. They'll know what.
I will tell you that maybe one person, but yeah, no. If that's a spoiler for my family, kudos to them.
Yeah.
How many layers?
Huh?
How many layers? How many times do you wrap it?
So you wrap it like 6 to 8 times. Like it's, and you
Oh,
think
man.
it gets really intense because you're also like, you have to pass the pot holders and the presents to the person next to you while the person in front of them is rolling the die. And then I remember last year was the first year we played it. My brother's like, this is stupid. I'm not going to play this. And he was the most aggressive. He was like ripping all the things, and he was like, I want all of them. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is dumb. But he got so into it. It was so funny. Last year I wrapped an actual pot holder because I thought that was funny. And then this year, there's a burrito blanket in there. That's my gift. So big
I
spoilers.
actually just heard about that game. Somebody called it the big ball of plastic crap or something like that. I did a post about doing a sort of a white elephant thing that we do. We call it the Stinky Santa. It's a long story, but it's you pick a gift, open it, and then the next person can either take your gift or pick a new one, and it goes around. And at the end, we vote who had the worst gift. And if you were voted with the worst gift, you have to buy something with double value next year. And there's a traveling award called the Stinky Santa. I should have sent it to you for a picture.
Yeah, we need to see that. So, well, you know what? Next week is a Christmas special of the
All
Word
right,
on
I'll
the
send
Street.
it.
So next week you can just simply send that to us because we're gonna have a special Christmas edition of Word on the Street with the.
Are we singing Christmas carols?
We should try that. That'd be pretty hilarious because there's no way we'll be on beat.
I got my Frozen background.
We should roll with that. So you'll have to bring that next week, and we'll give that a shot. All right. So Graham, let's jump back to insurance real quick. Talk a little bit about what you're doing in the industry. Are you working with carriers primarily, freight brokers? What kind of insurance? How's it going? And what are you seeing in the marketplace right now?
Great question. We'll try not to have anyone fall asleep here while we talk about insurance for a minute. I get it. I'm fully cognizant of how it comes off when you talk about insurance.
Were you an insurance guy before you got into insurance? Did you have any interest in that at all, or just completely brand new?
No, I mean, I paid for insurance, but I've never, I'd not sold insurance before. Well,
what was your job before?
I basically sold office space in essence.
For WeWork, yeah. Was that your first job? What did you do before that?
Before that, I was working in restaurants. I was valeting cars.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
We're dating way back in the day. Yeah.
So insurance is brand new. Yeah.
We're like a little over 2 years at this point, but it definitely took some time to study. Like the first couple months of working at Reliance, I read everything that was available on the internet about freight broker insurance. Our company caters to, I'd say in terms of like the split of premium, most of our business comes from motor carriers. So we have a lot of love for, we're the largest insurer of the 1 to 20 power unit fleet in the US right now. And we ride up to enterprise fleets as well. But my team just focuses on freight brokerage. So if I have a potential client who has both assets and a brokerage, I'll loop someone who knows the asset side in really well from my team so that we can collaborate on finding a great solution. But overall, we just work on the freight brokerage side here on our logistics team. And that's everything from, annual policies that are necessary to have in place for winning shipper business and protecting your business. And then we have a program called the Ruby program, which is Reliance Usage-Based Insurance. And it really just describes our relationship with a couple of different usage-based insurance markets so that, we can enable companies to take on really high value loads without having to hit their annual policies if there's a claim on those loads, and then going for strange commodities that would typically be excluded on an insurance policy. we've created a program also for trailer leasing so that freight brokers can satisfy lessors' need for insurance on auto liability and property damage. So we have a couple of different things going on, but at heart, we're working on protecting freight brokers.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And trailer leasing has become a huge thing. All right, we got to pause for a minute because we have some street crew members in the green room that need to come in. We haven't had this person in a while, but I'm so excited. She's now with Epica Fleet Services. Everybody give it up for our good friend, Diana Guzman. Yes.
Hello. I finally made it.
Long. I know. It's been so long. It's so good to have you. How are you doing?
Never, ever are we an equal split to men and women. I'm excited.
No, we're always heavy one way or the other. But Jennifer, listen, that's not it. We have others in the waiting room as well. Everybody give it up for our good friend, Greg Roberts. What's up, brother? How are you, my friend?
Doing great. Good Friday afternoon.
It is a good Friday, man. It's good to see you. By the way, everybody, I got Greg's Christmas card. I don't know if you guys were lucky enough to get a Christmas card from Greg, but I got one. I was lucky enough. I don't know. The check's in the mail. Awesome Christmas card.
It's like,
it's got.
we can call him out on it.
Listen, I'm saying this because it's super cool. It's got like jagged edges and a really cool picture, and I'm pretty excited. So, Greg, I'm gonna put you on blast, but dude, it was awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is your face red? Are you embarrassed?
I'm not embarrassed, but maybe my face is red. I don't know.
Maybe pissed a little bit. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Diana, you're in the car. Where are you headed? What's going on?
I just landed. So I was with Matt, and we had a big Christmas company party in Nashville. So
Oh, nice.
so I'm heading to my mom's house actually because it is my dad's birthday today. So I'm.
And you took the family on the Christmas party trip?
Absolutely not. No.
No, they picked you up. Okay, they picked you up. All right. Okay.
Yeah, they picked me up.
So
So
I'm hearing the kids in the background.
You come into Midway. You must have you should have waved me when you drove by. You came into Midway, right?
I didn't. I actually flew in to O'Hare.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was
How is everything at Epica going?
You know what? It's a lot of information to absorb.
Drinking from the fire hose right now?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Nice.
So, but it's amazing. It's a great company. Matt's awesome. I love Matt. So it's nice that we get to work together.
You're one of the lucky ones in the industry to get to work with Matt on a daily basis. So that's pretty cool. I'm very excited for you. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Dinah, what do you know about insurance? Anything?
What do I know about insurance?
That's right.
I couldn't hear if you said my name. I'm sorry. I'm like, are you asking me?
I'm just putting people on the spot today. That's all.
I know. Well, you know what? I had to deal with it when I onboarded owner operators because trucks and that's pricey and don't know more. I don't know anything more than that other than all right, listen, you need liability, you need interchange and you know all this shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Graham is our resident expert today on insurance, all things insurance, specifically freight broker insurance, which is exciting. What's going on in the freight broker insurance world compared to carriers? I know with carriers, obviously, there's a lot of issues with nuclear verdicts and insurance going through the roof and all those kind of things. What's going on the freight broker side?
Yeah. So what I have seen recently is, like most people have probably seen, a big uptick in theft. So, I mean, from an insurance standpoint, I can say that the double brokering is real. We're seeing loads go missing almost weekly for freight broker clients. And so having teams that can help track the down is.
Oh, is that Graham or me?
And
I think it's Graham.
Oh, no, that's no bueno. But he looks good. The beard is solid with the black background. While he comes back, everybody, we got to let a guy into the room. Everybody give it up for the freight sensei, Scott Watanabe. He's walking. I don't know what he's doing today. He's doing something. What's up, buddy? Can you hear us, Scott? What's up, brother? Oh, we're spinning around. There he is. You got your hands full today, man. What's up? How are you? Good to see you, bro. You look great.
I don't think he can hear you.
Are you muted, unmuted? You're looking
He
great.
can't hear you when he's saying goodbye.
Oh, see, Graham, it's amateur hour over here. You never know what's going to happen when you go live. And we lost Graham. All right, so people are just going down left and right. All right, well, everybody, there's Graham. Now he's back. What's up, brother? How are you, man? You good with us?
Hello.
You good? You with
Oh, I
us?
had to
Oh,
step
okay.
out for my internet went down or something.
Amateur hour today,
Yeah.
all around. I lost my internet before you lost yours.
You hear
Who's
me
next?
okay?
Who's going down next? Yep, we can hear you just fine.
I got to jump off though, Trey. I'm sorry. It has to be short lived, but I'm glad I was able to
Peace,
pop
Diana.
on.
So,
It's good
so
seeing
good
you.
to see you.
Graham, your beard is fucking wicked. I love it. That's awesome.
Happy
Love
birthday
you,
to your dad.
Diana.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Happy
Bye,
birthday,
Diana.
Dad.
Happy
Happy
birthday to your
birthday,
dad.
Dad.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Oh,
And
my
like
goodness.
the little kid voices in the background. Bye.
Oh, goodness. Well, you know what? That's just what happens sometimes on the show, but it's all right. Graham, are you back now or what? Can you hear us okay? Do you have internet?
I'm here. Can you? Is this working
We can
okay?
hear-
I don't know what to do, y'all. My internet's normally amazing. I don't know. It's
You know
just
what?
today.
It's so
It's
frustrating
just the
because
end of the
I
week.
hardwire in and I have issues sometimes. I'm like, what is the deal? Like, it's so frustrating. But either ways, the beard does look good. All right, so listen, we got to transition for a minute because Jennifer, show your sweater real quick. This is not an ugly sweater, Christmas sweater, everybody. But Jennifer's going to show you. Yeah, this is a legit one, Sandy Claus.
Yeah,
There you go.
Sandy Claus, because
Yeah.
I love Halloween, and obviously I love Christmas with my multiple Christmas trees. These are just two images. Oh, I should go this way.
Your decorations continue to be impressive. I will say that. However,
Thank you.
it is, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but today is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. Today. So kind of a big deal. How many of you guys own an ugly Christmas sweater?
Mm-hmm.
Raquel, you got one? You should go get it. We should see this.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go dig through your house and find it.
Well, she's probably preparing to wear it soon because she's got an event coming up. It's not like we're asking in like July. I mean, it's August, so that makes sense. But we're going to look at a couple of ugly Christmas sweaters today and see what we got. A couple of options here. Everybody take a look at this. Let's see what we think about this. This is when you're wearing the Christmas gear. This is how you're wearing it up here. So that's, I don't know what you guys think about that. Would you guys wear a Christmas sweater that had stuff hanging off of it? Would you wear that?
Yeah, I have. That's our
You have?
ugly Christmas sweater I made. It was like a real sweater, then I sewed things on it.
Does it hook
I
on
made
stuff? Does, I mean, like, it seems like
Yeah,
that
I
would not
think
be.
you have to be careful. I mean, I made one for my kid too. Wrong choice to put bells on his.
Just running all around.
It depends. It depends. If you have a kid who you lose often, like I do, I've got a kid that tends to wander.
What?
Then bells might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, but I just heard it. I knew everywhere he was in the house.
My kids would
Yeah,
tear
Trey,
that up.
Is it a bad thing that I saw the one with the bow on it on the kid, and I immediately thought like, oh, that's a handle I could grab if they start running away.
That's right there. Yep. I love that one. Can you imagine if you're a kid and your mom hands you that and you got to wear that to a party? Oh, that'd be so brutal. That'd be awful. That'd be pretty rough. All right, we got a few more. We're gonna try Scott again. Scott, come on. Oh, there's Jen. All right, there's Raquel.
All right.
All right. Here we
How
go.
do we feel about this? Right? It's
I mean,
That's not ugly.
Is that an ugly sweater?
Yeah,
It's a nice sweater.
Is this what you wear to ugly Christmas sweater events? Is this it?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
I like the sweater you're wearing in real life more, obviously. That was very, but like, I feel like your ugly sweater is still acceptable. Like you know.
So you want gaudy is what you like. Don't want an original sweater. You want something that's been created and to be Christmas.
Well, something that you would wear to an ugly Christmas sweater party. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you know.
I consider that an ugly sweater.
Well, I don't call the sweaters that my wife bought for me ugly ever. That's not
That's
a
a
good.
good.
Gives
Good
you a
choice.
sense of my fashion sense too. That she pulled that sweater out that she thought was ugly. I'm like, oh, it looks like a nice sweater.
All right, I saw this one. What do you guys think about this one? This is the combo sweater. This is what you wear with somebody.
No. Veto. I gotta have my own.
Can you imagine how annoying that would be to wear that to a party? Like that better be over what you're
Well,
really going to wear. So
And
you can,
first of all, if I'm at a party, I don't literally want to be attached to my husband. I
Yeah,
want
I mean,
to
look at
talk to other people. I see him at home.
Who does this?
That would be very inconvenient.
That's a good one.
What do you
Yeah,
want
that's
That's when you lose a bet. Only
Mhm.
people that would have like if you lost a bet, you would have to do
yeah.
that.
Like,
but-
how long do you think you could go at a party with this on? Like, could you do 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I don't know.
I
She
mean-
looks way happier about it than me.
I just realized that was one sweater. I thought it was just.
Yeah, this is one. Rob, this is one sweater, my
No,
friend. Yeah.
I could probably wear that by myself though.
maybe just and have one side just missing. That could be
Yeah,
pretty good.
just.
All right, here we go.
One of those styrofoam heads on the other side.
Next group of sweaters that we have. Check these out. So I like these. These are our fun themed ones, our movie and TV themed ones. I think these are great. I like these. It's amazing. The ugly sweater market is huge now. Like it's a big market. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are doing ugly sweaters, but I like those. I think the Bob Ross one is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Fragile.
I like that.
Fragile. That's right. That's right. And why is the carpet all wet, Todd? Oh, that's so good. Love that one. That's one of my favorites. All right. Next group we've got is this. I don't know why this one is on a dude. My eyes are up here. That's not meant for a guy. But then we have the Natty Light one. Anybody rocking the Natty Light one?
I think it's because that beer bottle's.
Yeah, it's the placement of the beer bottle.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, okay, I see it. Okay, so there's two versions of that sweater then. Okay, that's good. Thank you. I didn't see it. Well, now I can't unsee it. Thank you, Jen. All right, well, we're not going to look at that one. Okay, in the group of inappropriate ones, so I guess that one should also be in the inappropriate ones. Here is a couple inappropriate sweaters.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really okay. That's really bad. We'll take those off the screen. Here's a December 2022 themed ugly Christmas sweater right here. There you go. Saw that one. I thought that was pretty appropriate for what's happening right now. And okay, we got a couple more. All right, we got this one here, which I thought this one's kind of a creepy one.
Creepy.
Thought that's pretty good. And then the ugliest ugly Christmas sweater of all.
There you go.
Oh, there! Look at this. Oh,
There you go.
Oh no.
That's wonderful. Those are
like
great.
it.
See, that's an ugly Christmas sweater right there. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Very good. Well done. All right. Okay, and then probably the ugliest Christmas sweater of all has to be this one. Sorry, PC fans. Just not yet. It's the old Microsoft Windows one. I'm a Mac user, so that's kind of how it works. So thought that was it. Anybody going to be wearing an ugly Christmas sweater coming up? Anyone else?
We're having a party tonight.
You are nice.
Yes.
So I want to see pictures of this. Very good. Morgan thinks that Kyle and I should wear the partner ugly. So that means we might have to take a picture together, Morgan. We're not going to do that. I'm not taking a picture with Kyle. It's just not going to happen. It's just the way it works. And if Kyle, if you're watching, you just take it to the bank. It's not going to happen. So very good. All right. So let's talk about the industry a little bit. What's going on in transportation? It's really interesting right now. We see a lot of just kind of indicators that the economy may be coming back a little bit. We still see some layoffs that are happening. We see the ports kind of easing just a little bit. What are you guys seeing out there in the freight broker world? Raquel, what are you seeing out there? Greg, what do you guys got? Rob?
So I've actually been hearing a lot of projects coming through. I think these are the ones that I was originally bidding on back at late summer, September, October area. But they're starting to come through for January, February, March. And it seems like there's more quotes coming beyond that. So I'm pretty optimistic.
Yeah.
We're actually seeing some of the bids that are coming through were when the world was on fire last year, the bids were almost day to day or a few months. We're doing some 6-month bid now, which we can kind of feel safe about. In the past you couldn't really do that because it was such a fluctuating market, but I think things are a little safer now. We're just hoping that 2023 picks up, but I think that is going to be for 2023 for us is to add salespeople so that we can diversify some of our stuff and grow because the growth amongst the rest of us that are already selling, things are not quite what they were, but we're still doing great. We're having a great year.
Yeah. It's interesting because you're seeing labor that's doing pretty well. People are still hiring, even though we hear about all the firings and all the things that are going down. There's a lot of people that are still hiring. I know retail sales are a little bit down this year compared to last year. And, they're getting creative with pay later, buy now, pay later type of things. But it seems like the economy is not as bad as maybe the news and media outlets would like for us to believe. Greg, what are you seeing on your side?
Similar to what Rob was saying, where before people weren't doing RFPs or bids just because they knew that it would be good for maybe a couple of weeks. It felt so. Now we're getting back into a little bit more the usual swing of things, more RFPs coming through, more bids coming through, and we're still seeing a lot of quarterly bids. But sometimes we even got a couple of ones that were doing quarterly bids in 2022 that are now asking for a 2023 annual bid. So, we're seeing people expecting it to kind of stretch out. And if you look at some of the volatility too, and some of what we're coming into, we're almost back to like 2018. So it seems like, hey, 2019 was what it was, but then 2020 hit, and again, I don't mean to just hit replay on what Rob said, but the world was on fire and nobody knew what was what. So now it seems to be kind of getting back to a normal cycle.
Yeah. It's interesting that this cycle, of course, always happens. But so, Graham, this is your first cycle, my friend. Being in transportation, this is your first one.
Yeah. In the same vein, I found that most of the renewal conversations that I'm having right now are largely centered around headcount. So I also agree with what Rob said. If a freight broker is positioned well to double down on their headcount right now, there are so many talented people that have been, in the tangential industry of freight tech, and now they're leaving these tech companies because there's layoffs in every sector right now, but a lot of them are in transportation as well. And so it's a really, really interesting time to potentially double down on headcount where, from what I've seen in companies I've talked to, I haven't seen as many layoffs within the actual freight broker space as opposed to some of these freight tech companies. And so I think it might be a really interesting time for some companies, even though we're predicting a slower Q1 and Q2 of next year, maybe the full year from what we're anticipating, but it might be a really awesome time to make some key sales hires and double down on bringing in some new people to the fold who maybe don't have transportation experience, but are incredibly moldable for a specific organization. So I'm agreeing with Rob as well. There's uncertainty ahead, but that can be very exciting. It's probably be a time of stretching for most companies, if not all. But that's where a lot of growth happens in these companies. And I think that people who are able to stand after whatever is coming, and by stand, I just mean are still well off. I think those companies are going to be in a much stronger position to, just win as much freight as possible when things start to really, really pick back up.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of layoffs were really in tech companies. I think that was really focused around the ones that took a lot of VC money and probably just grew a little bit too quickly, and we're wanting to trim some of the fat. I'm seeing a lot of that, but I'm not seeing a ton of layoffs at a lot of freight brokers. I mean, CH had quite a few. That was kind of the biggest, I think, outlier. But you haven't seen a ton of that overall. A lot of them are still, either maintaining or continuing to grow. So we'll have to see kind of how that all plays out coming up.
If we get the right person, we'll definitely hire. So
yeah, I think that's critical. And it's really kind of separating the wheat from the chaff, as you'd say, like the ones who really were good versus the ones maybe that need to maybe do something else or find a different career path and move that direction. So, we'll have to see kind of how that works out moving up, which will be interesting. So, all right. So, Graham, I want to ask you a question about freight brokers. So, if a freight broker is watching the show today and they are wanting to know if they have the right insurance, what's the best advice for them? How would you kind of coach them through that?
I mean, just to be honest, probably the best way to know is to get a second opinion, right? There's only a few major freight broker insurance markets in the space. And so a company like Reliance or even a competitor having a second look at your insurance is probably the thing to do. And then consulting with your other freight broker partners or even competitors who you're friendly with is oftentimes he's signing off again.
He's gone. Yeah, don't worry about him.
He's trying so hard.
He's trying.
Oh, that's great. Well, there's not a ton of transparency around the actual insurance markets writing freight broker insurance. So, you could see Lloyd's on a COI for a freight broker. It's completely different than the Lloyd's you'd see on a certificate for a motor carrier. Completely different company with common ownership. So that, you can't look at a COI necessarily and know that your insurance is fantastic or that it's not, or that it's lacking in some places, or even you have all the right coverages. But honestly, just getting a second opinion and talking to someone who's an expert is going to be the most helpful to make sure that you're properly protecting your business.
I'll say with something that I do personally is if I have an insurance agent that calls me and says, "Hey, can I give you a quote?" I always say yes. I mean, it never hurts to just hear what's out there and to understand the market. So if somebody says, "Hey, can I quote your car insurance or home insurance?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I'll give them my information and I'll see what they have to offer. And it kind of lets me know if I'm in a good spot, if there's something better out there. Like, it just never hurts to get a second opinion or help out in that direction, which is good. All right, we got to pause for a second. We've got something that you guys have probably never seen before, and that is this driving down the road. Everybody give it up for a good friend from Lowboy Industries and Max Freight Lines, Jason Rabin. Look at this.
Look at this. Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
And I love the fact that we're going regulators with you driving down the road with money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about.
Go.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Man, I turned 41 the other day, and I woke up yesterday, and I'm like, I just want to be 14 again. So you know what? I'm just gonna act a fool for a few days.
Well, happy
Yeah,
birthday,
buddy.
my friend. I love that. That's good. Hey, guys, just
Thank
so
you,
you
thank
know, Jason Rabin has some awesome swag over at lowboyindustries.com. Very cool swag store. I'm jealous. I'm actually working on my swag store to keep up with him. So everybody check it out. He's got some good things going on over there. I will take note. Look at this. We got a new water bottle in, everybody. This is our new podcast water bottle. It has all the podcasts that we do on one water bottle. So
Is that the one I'll get for my free swag from the
I-
200 show?
I don't know. I can't remember what we sent you, but we'll see.
Oh, so I should check my mailbox.
We'll see what you end up with there.
We'll
That's
see.
true. Jason.
Surprise.
That's right. I'll be surprised. Jason, what's good, my friend? What's going on?
Man, I just hopped on at the right time. I heard you guys talking about second opinions, and I'll tell you what, I've had to increase my insurance 2 times over the last 30 days. And before I even go to my own insurance company, Graham gets an email from me. So I can speak to the need to have another set of eyes on everything. And the only reason I have Graham look at my stuff is because he's going to take over all my insurance needs when I renew in March anyway. So keeping him in the loop, one, protects me, but also it builds that rapport and that confidence in a partnership that hasn't even come to fruition yet. You know, it's more of a friendship, and that's what people over profit's all about. When you partner with people that you could consider your friend, you don't worry about the money, you know. And so I broke bread with Graham for a little bit. I learned real quick he's the type of person I want to partner with. And he said, here's my info. If you need anything, reach out to me. And literally within 5 minutes of an email or a text, I get a response. And I'm not even a client of his. I can't imagine the service level that he provides for people that actually pay him for his services. So, Graham, thank you. You've earned my business multiple times. If I could cancel my insurance today and not, eat that whole year's fee, we'd be talking business tomorrow. But unfortunately, I got my hands tied. So you know what? This is how I'm gonna cancel. This is how I'm canceling everything. It's gonna be a video cancellation. Like, you know what, guys? You're fired.
No. Well, Jason, I want to tie what you said back to basically my introduction statement when the first question Trey asked, which is that why'd you get into the industry? And it was largely about being able to have a career in which it's completely built around relationships. So I think your friendship really is the perfect illustration of that, where, you don't win everyone's business every year, but this is very much the long game in terms of everyone has insurance needs every year. But more than that, there's bigger things happening in the industry than just the insurance protecting your business. There's a lot of avenues for collaboration. Lowboy Industries is a perfect example of that, where you're partnering with all kinds of people, all pieces of the supply chain, right, to make some really cool things that supports a really good cause. And so I'm in the same boat as you, man. I'm cultivating those same relationships that are not necessarily always insurance centric, but it's obviously a big piece. It's how I take care of my family. That being said, there's a lot more going on in the industry that I'm excited about, especially what you're doing as well, man.
I appreciate it. I'll be honest, you're very humble. A couple of times when we were at lunch, you said, I have a meeting at 4 with a client. You never once told me who the client was until I said, you know what, I'll give you a ride there. And you just casually dropped who it was, and I was like, oh, you're joking me. Big boys in the neighborhood, little Freight Vana action, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to Freight Vana right now. I said, not by yourself, you're not. I'm going up that elevator. Dude, I went up that elevator and walked right into that place like I was invited. And you know what? I wasn't invited, but I will tell you this. They treated me like I was, and it was incredible to be in a space where, by definition, yeah, they're a competitor. There's no competition, man. They are head and shoulders above all of us. They are the blueprint of the right way to do things. And so just to even be welcomed in and them know who I was just made me feel good about our company and our mission. But it also made me want to, compete with them on the give back. And so the reason that Lowboy gives back money, we're a veteran family, but Lars put out the blueprint about if you want to, donate a tree or get involved in that space, I'll give you the blueprint. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to take the blueprint, but just by itself, not the individual chapter, but the book. And we're going to apply it to what we're doing. And so giving back was important for us. And so Shannon and John and Lars and all the boys over there and Ricky, fantastic. Man, they don't put on a show for the internet. I'm telling you right now, the projection of culture at their level is like
Real.
throttled down to the internet. When you walk in there, you're like, holy cow. And it's rare. It's very, very rare for that type of authenticity. And then for Graham to be a partner with that, it's a wrap. I mean, that's social proof by itself. That's all I need. Just don't look at our business partnership as, goofy, because I'm going to go pick my daughter up from school, and I'm rocking this. I'm like, let's go. She's going to be so embarrassed.
Honk
She's
the
going to be so
horn.
embarrassed.
Have the window down.
Let's go.
Hey.
Windows down. Hey, happy birthday. All of her friends are coming over to my house. They're all going to be like, I don't know that guy. I'm not getting in that car.
No, that's awesome. And we can brag on Graham for a moment, because in terms of like customer service, just as a friend, sometimes you'll send a message and you'll wait to hear back. I feel like I feel like Graham responds so quickly that it feels like he was waiting for your text or your message. And so I think that's really speaks volumes. So Graham, kudos, man. Keep that up.
Yeah. I mean, it's absurd how
You're
quickly he
really,
responds.
really buttering me up, and Thanksgiving's over.
All right, well then let's talk about something else, and let's switch gears real quick. So we got Jason on the line. What do you guys think about what's going to happen on Sunday with the World Cup? We got Argentina versus France, two of the final four teams remaining. Those were the two that people in my poll that I did thought had the best chance of winning. Most people picked Argentina. France was second. They both were pretty dominant in the semifinal match. Did anybody watch the semifinal matches, and what do you think? Are we going to Argentina or are we going France? Graham, are you a soccer fan?
I like to see that what Morocco did, though, as far as the quarterfinal game. They increased, I want to say 30 or 40 flights extra into Qatar, which was pretty cool. And
they did
to swing that together. It was almost like a home game for Morocco, but after that first goal was scored, kind of took the air out of him. And I think the goalkeeper, if you watch that match, I think and I'm no soccer expert, but I do know geometry, and I think he came out a little too far and didn't cut off his angle. Didn't cut off his angle.
Too excited about all that. No, it was France has been pretty dominant throughout the tournament. So we'll see kind of what happens. But Argentina played really well as well. So we'll see.
I hope Argentina wins. If not for nothing, Messi needs to hoist the trophy. It's his last shot. I mean, he's not playing another 4 years. This is it for him. So, as the greatest soccer player ever, for him not to win it would be a tragedy. And so, I'm really rooting for him in Argentina. Crazy fact is, only teams from South America and Europe have ever won the World Cup. So much for world, right? Like the rest of us have no shot. We have no shot.
Because we don't value soccer. We don't care about soccer like they do.
We don't.
So,
we don't. No.
Well, it works. I mean, if we had I mean, for the most part, when you go to the Olympics, we dominate on a lot of other sports, NBA and certain things like that. But soccer's not one that we've ever really dominated. The fact that the women won the World Cup back in, when was that? When did they win? 2000, 96? I can't remember what year. Or 98? I can't remember when they won. When Brandy Chastain threw up the arms. And when did that happen? I don't know when that was, but it was a while. We just haven't won a lot.
Year 2098.
No, 2000 or 98, like right around there. Graham, you got to
the time traveler.
Well, I mean, the reason is because can you imagine if our best athletes played soccer, put LeBron James out there, but
Dream team.
I mean,
well, I mean, he's bigger, but can he kick? I don't know. I mean, can he actually? I don't know.
Something tells me you put enough of those guys out there,
they
make it work. Not
maybe they would
I mean, like if they
just intimidate.
If from 5 years old, instead of a basketball in their hands, they're kicking a soccer ball around, or instead of a football, they're kicking a soccer ball.
It's true. We just don't value it as much, but we're getting there. I mean, we just got a new soccer team here in St. Louis. It's a big sport here, and it's becoming a big sport in other cities. So we'll see. Portland's a big soccer town. Seattle. I don't know. We'll see. You never know. But we certainly don't play it on the playground like the kids when we play basketball or football.
Who do you think is the greatest soccer player ever? Because Pele might have something to say about that.
Pele probably has something to say about that.
I know it's a little old school. He won 3 World Cups. So.
Yeah, and had probably just the most consistent career of them all. I would imagine.
He's a little more back in time for you younger kids.
Yeah, but didn't he start playing at 16 on the national team? Or 15?
15,
I mean, it was something.
15 on Brazil, yeah.
something crazy young like that. But
I
certainly
don't think
was
my
able to
ego
keep
could
up.
have handled that starting professional sports at 16, 15.
Well, you know what though, Graham? A lot of countries, they do that in South America, over in Europe. A lot of the golfers turn professional when they're 16, 17 and start playing professional golf.
That'd be
Like
the life, Trey.
it's
I'm in
much
the
more
wrong line of
common.
business.
I know I was born in the wrong
Listen,
country.
in Brazil, they actually sign kids at 8, 9, and 10-year-olds to semi-professional contracts, and they go and live in communities that are 100% soccer, and they live with kids, and all they do is play soccer all day. They go to school and they play soccer. They groom them from a very young age in South America.
They go to school. I wonder what that looks like. I wonder what their school day looks like.
It's a soccer club / school, like school is
Yeah,
secondary,
like
but
gymnastics type of thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, something like that.
I dig
Yeah, I mean
it.
they got a shot to be good. There's no doubt about that. They got a shot to make it there. All right, Graham. So here's how we end the show every week, as we do a little something called This Week in Pictures. Are you familiar with this?
I'm a little bit familiar. I've seen it before.
All right, very good. So I have the crew send in some pictures and we talk about them. So we're going to go ahead and get that started here. This Week in Pictures, we're going to start with what's up,
That's
Jennifer?
me.
What's this? I know.
So I was in Chicago earlier this week doing site visits for TMSA's Executive Summit, which will be October 2023, finalizing the dates based on, what place I pick here. But so we'll be doing Savannah for our annual conference, June 11th through 13th, and then going to Chicago for Executive Summit in October.
I know, it's very
So
exciting
this
for
was
Chicago
me.
peeps. You got to be a part of that.
Where did you visit? Let me guess, you visited the Sheraton, the Hyatt, McCormick Place.
I didn't. Our shows are smaller than that. And I will tell you offline the places I visited.
I was trying to see
anything
if
away, Rob.
I was seeing if she'd give it up there,
No, can't give it away just yet. But that's exciting. Going to be coming to Chicago for that, which is not far away for many of us. And
I'm
the
excited.
annual conference coming up too.
And I was laughing that I posted the picture of me at the Bean on my LinkedIn, and people are like, I can't believe that there's no one there. I'm like, don't on a Monday morning when it's raining at 7 a.m, and then you can go there with no one else.
You can have it to yourself. That's right. You can have it to yourself. Hey, listen, if you're a freight broker or you service freight brokers or in the transportation industry in general, if you're in a trucking company or whatever, you got to be part of TMSA. One of the best memberships out there. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a member, but it's true. So make sure you join TMSA. Check it out. TMSAtoday.org. Learn about membership. All right, Rob, talk about this. We got a little Christmas cookie action. Those look delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife and my son did those last week.
Very creative. Those are way
I
better
like
than
the
mine.
googly eyes.
The star is, for me, it's got an R in it. Yeah.
Cute.
Oh, nice. See, I just like to just take the icing and just cover it up and eat it. I'm not really looking for decorations. I'm just trying to eat it. But those look pretty legit. Those are not bad.
They were good.
Those are not bad. Yep. I was going to show a picture of Jason, but we're seeing him on the screen. So I'll just do this, and then then we got it. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, everybody. Look.
Yeah,
You can't beat that. Oh, it's crazy. All right, couple for me. So our small group, we had this thing called Friendsgiving, but we changed it this year to Friendsmissgiving because we did it kind of, the second week of December. Those are all the people that are in our small group at church, good friends of ours, all of our kids. And we're big enough now that we actually had to have this, not at a house, but we had to actually have it at the chapel at church because there were quite a few people there. So that was a lot of fun. Had a good time with them, kids dressing up, and all those kids have become best friends. That's where we played Telestrations, had a good time with that, which was awesome. Also got to do something for the first time. I did a seminar, virtual and in person. So I was at Sunset Transportation this week, did a seminar on personal and corporate branding. I had to do the thing where I would talk to the group over here, and then I flip over to the TV over here, and I was just constantly going back and forth. It kind of felt weird, but it was exciting. We're talking about the value of personal branding. Everybody in your business is building your brand. Every interaction that they have goes towards building the brand. So we talked about that, which was a lot of fun. Had a good time with that. Thank you to my friends over at Sunset Transportation. That was good. Also, do you guys do advent calendars? Like those are kind of become a thing now where you do something all the way up, advent calendars. One of the things that we did this year was we did the Christmas meal, the red and green meal. And this is what we ended up going with. So I don't know if you can see this or not. We've got chips right here. So we got some tortilla chips, salsa, guac. We got the green spinach tortillas for that. These brownies have green and red icing, so it counts. We got some red meat up here. And then can you guys tell what this is? Anybody want to guess what this is right here?
Couldn't even guess.
Looks like salsa.
No, this is actually it's actually white queso dip with green food coloring in it.
Oh boy.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard for many of us to actually take a bite. I ate a lot of it because I can see past it. My wife's like, "This looks like icing, but it tastes like cheese dip." I don't know how I feel about this. So it was
That's
definitely kind of
funny.
odd. Also, for the kids, I like to do fun things around Christmas with pancakes. So we made pancakes with Christmas cookies. This is fun to do for your friend, for your family. And this is a green pancake, everybody. This is a pancake batter with green food coloring in it. You can do a lot of fun stuff with food coloring. I am learning this Christmas season. So we had a lot of fun making Christmas pancakes for the kiddos. That was a blast. Couple news stories we're going to end with real quick. Check this out. California cuts the incentives for solar, which is odd. You would think California would be promoting solar, but they're actually cutting the incentives because they now want to promote everybody buying a battery pack in order to store it. So they're cutting the incentives for this, and they're adding incentives for a battery pack. But it's interesting. It's like, if everybody in California had solar panels, which they get a lot of sun, they could sell it all back. They'd have plenty of electricity for their grid. So that was an interesting story. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but California does some weird things from time to
You
time.
got to remember those batteries have to go somewhere at some point.
They got to go somewhere at some point. It takes a lot of stuff to mine, which is interesting. Okay, apparently Elon Musk does not want to be tracked anymore on his private jet.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so they changed the rules on this. So now he said current location is dangerous. Past location's no big deal. So I don't know if there's validity in that, or if it was more just personal, because I guess his son got attacked or threatened, which was interesting. So anybody else hear about
Stalker
that?
type thing.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I'm excited about this. NASA is going to the moon again. The Artemis 1 safely came back from the moon. No people on that trip, but we got people going to the moon pretty soon. I'm stoked about that. If I could go to the moon, sign me up. I would do it tomorrow. Anybody else want to go to the moon? Anyone else?
I would, but I don't know if I have the funds for.
Well, yeah,
those
exactly.
tickets are the tickets on those ones. What was it? SpaceX. That it was a little outside my price range.
A little bit outside. But listen, if I could go to the moon, I would go in a heartbeat.
It would be
so
awesome,
exciting. Yeah. The keywords that were searched in Google for 2022, they've been revealed, everybody. So here's what we got. A couple of things here. The key people that were searched: Johnny Depp, Will Smith, Amber Heard, Antonio Brown, Carrie Lake, Anna Sorokin, Chris Rock, Andrew Tate, Adam Levine, and Serena Williams. Any surprises? Anybody get left off?
So many scandals.
I know. There were
Trey
a few scandals.
Griggs, where are you on that list?
I know. We didn't make the top 10 this year. We're working on it. We didn't make the top
Number
10.
11, clearly.
Scroll down.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
make the top
he's
10.
down a little lower.
Yeah, exactly. Most popular searches overall, Wordle. Wordle getting up there as the most popular search
I don't know
overall.
how I feel that Wordle is above like election results and Betty White. And the Ukraine is 6.
It shows you that people just want to be
upsets
entertained.
me. Yeah.
Not
they just
everyone
wanna-
can vote, but everyone can play Wordle.
I know. Here's an interesting one. So Bob Saget was one of those popular searches, but he did not make the most popular people search. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
weird.
how that works.
Huh.
But so anyway, so
Well,
he
same
got
with Betty and the Queen.
I know, and Ukraine is number 6. That's interesting with all the things going on there. So
Yeah,
Jeffrey Dahmer.
half of this list is people.
I know.
Trey,
Jeffrey Dahmer keeps getting.
Now you're going to put freight broker insurance at the top here.
Well,
That
if
would've been
I was
lovely.
doctoring this, I would have, but I'm not. This is real results. Sorry, this is real.
But
information.
how?
Right.
Where did this results come from? Because half
Who Googled
the
it?
They got to be wrong.
well, it's just I don't know
I know. I'm with you.
I-
I'm with you. I
because
know.
there's 5 people on.
I know that doesn't
I
make any
don't-
sense. I got to talk to Google about this.
I'm a very
Yeah.
literal person, and so it bothers me.
It is bothersome. I
The
will do
rest
that.
of her afternoon is shot.
I know. I'm gonna
how
have to-
can this be?
You know, I've
Most
been debating whether
Most
we go
searched
to-
movies in Kanto is most searched. Most searched movies in Kanto. Interesting. And the most searched current event, I guess, is election results. Again, I don't know if I agree with any of that stuff. So we're just going to end on that controversy, and we'll just say that that's just unfortunately the way that it goes. Grant, great to have you on the show today, my friend. Thanks for participating. Hope we'll see you back again soon, and good luck.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's awesome. And make sure you guys come back to, next week on Friday. We've got the Christmas special. Who knows what we're gonna do. Thanks to our partners over at 3PL Systems, at Green Screens, and at TAFs. And we will see you guys soon. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.